Joining us now, retired Army Lieutenant Colonel and Heritage Foundation Vice President of Foreign Policy is James Carafano. Okay, it's great to have you back on. What is your assessment of NATO and its allies? NATO, for the first time, collectively condemned China for masterminding malicious cyber attacks on tens of thousands of companies and governments worldwide. What was your assessment of that?
Yeah, you remember back before we had Tesla, we had cars, and they actually had like engines with carburetors, and they'd say it's not hitting on all cylinders, like so it would sputter along, but you wouldn't really take off. So if you actually read the statement, it's like, hey, China is coming after us with guns a-blazing, and we're upset about that. There's no sense of urgency. There's no defined response. There's no international coalition pushing back. It's just, hey, we're being attacked here. I guess it's a start, but for all we've been talking about the last several years about malicious China cyber activity, when do we actually start punching back?
Yeah, we hear you. I mean, apparently they did it via Flaw and Microsoft software. So there's that. And to your point, the administration is now moving to end a Trump-era ban on China's TikTok and WeChat. The Trump administration and human rights activists are warning that the Chinese Communist Party uses those apps for both disinformation campaigns and to assemble massive dossiers of information on Americans and people around the world. What do you say to that?
Well, just to be clear, we got a double dose of nothing from the administration. We actually had the president just kind of brush off the idea of actually responding to China's cyber hacking. And then here's the problem with the administration on WeChat and TikTok. We know for a fact that China intends these as tools to vacuum up all the available information in the universe, store it, and then figure out how to use it using quantum computers and artificial intelligence and use all that data against everybody. We know that for a fact. They actually have a law that says any data that China touches, the government owns. We have a principle, a doctrine in the government of civil-military fusion that says all the things that we control, we will use to further our interests and hurt other people. We have their technology plan that says we need AI and quantum computing because we have to process all this mass data so we can use it against everybody else. They want to be the world's first computer information superpower, and the Trump administration took a tiny baby step about going after two companies, which are kind of the poster child of this nefarious Chinese scheme, and the Biden administration walks away from that. Now, look, in fairness to them, maybe they've got a better idea, but it's like Trump shows up at the fire and they turn off the water hose and they say, "Don't worry, we've got a better water hose coming." I don't get it.
Okay, well, where is it?
But thank you.
The thing is, they could create a naval problem in the South China Sea. A battle maybe, who knows, between warships by utilizing TikTok to send out disinformation around the world. I want to get to this. There's this other controversy going on at the United Nations. The U.S., under the Biden administration, sending $4 billion over to a fund to get vaccines worldwide. Oh. The fund turned around at the UN. It's a WHO-backed fund. They're buying China's vaccines, which are about half as effective.
Right.
And China is not sending any money into this fund. What's going on here?
Yeah, so this is a Samantha Powers special. Samantha Powers is over at the U.S. AID, which is our public health agency, which does a lot of this public health diplomacy. And we're about equity. So we want to not take credit for any of this, and we want to make sure that the vaccine is shared equitable with everybody. So we sent it through COVAX. Nothing's happening. They're buying Chinese vaccine. It's an incredibly inefficient way. And the reason why they're doing it is we want to be part of the international club, as opposed to we want to actually help people and we want to actually further U.S. interests. So rather than us making the vaccine and pushing out to countries that we need it, we're not doing that.
Okay, got you. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for your service to our country. Retired Lieutenant Colonel James Carafano. Come back soon.